So we've got leftovers, we've got leftovers, we've got leftovers, we've got leftovers, and eggs. Well, leftovers,
We got
right?
some beef in there too.
Yeah, we have a pound of ground beef set out.
Yeah, so how about like nachos?
So we got leftovers.
Hang on. Hang on, let me make him a lot.
1 poundage of ground beef. That cat thing talking to us from the beyond. I think it's just trying to connect to you. Maybe it says your cat's crying. It has been a week. Tonight feels like one of those nights where we just want to kind of veg out, put together a puzzle, and just kind of do a little mellow thing, relaxation thing. So it's not some big intensive meal. Even if this isn't some big elaborate recipe, the show must go on. And I brought Smith and Wesson. You know, some dude out there is watching this video looking at his wife and he goes, I'm gonna use that one tomorrow. Why wait? Do it now. Wake her up. We're gonna do a little roller-ooski once we have a good crust on that side so we can get a good crust on both sides. Flavor building opportunity. We're gonna ground this up into bite-sized pieces, as small as possible, just like my wife likes it. Is half-inch pieces okay, or I don't want you to choke? A few years ago, I started noticing they have directions on the top of this bad boy right here, and it says you're supposed to like add water. I've been just using it just like a dusting seasoning for years. So, oops. Taco seasoning as I please. Kobe! All right, baby, here's the question. Do you want the drippy cheese or the shreddability cheese?
Yeah.
Now that the meat is done, we're gonna set this off to the side. This is how they do this at the Mexican restaurant, but I don't work there, so you're just gonna have to take it with a grain of salt. Grab yourself a little stock pan, you know what you usually use to warm up Campbell's soup. Honey, have you seen my cumin? So we can hang out on the counter for a minute. Hey, turn it around. Turn the heat on medium low. 1/3 of a cup of milk. Just keep the milk out a little longer. You might want to use it to thin out. Go out to the Walmart deli counter and get yourself about 1/2 pound of white American cheese. You can get this in the Land O'Lakes brand. That's usually the one that I use, and it tastes almost exactly the same. Just a little bit of cumin. 1/2 can to as much as you like of diced green chilies. Used a full pound of cheese, 1 can, works perfectly. Just keep stirring this until the cheese is nice and melted and it all coagulates together. UFO salt to taste. Probably salt that at the end unless you're comfortable knowing where you usually are at anyway. It also helps if you break up the slices instead of putting in like a large block, because then it melts a little bit quicker and a little bit more evenly. Just keep things moving so that cheese and that milk doesn't scald. Just keep stirring, just keep stirring, just keep stirring, stirring, stirring. Now once we get to about this consistency, depending on how thick or thin you like your cheese, use a little more or a little less milk. I used about 1 cup, but just know this will also thicken as it sits, like I did after high school. I swear I had that organized better. Half sheet pan. Normally I'd use aluminum foil for this part, but if you've seen the price of aluminum foil lately, you'll know exactly why I'm going for parchment paper. The parchment paper to stick and not roll up. Just crumble it up, or you people put a dab of water on it. I usually just do the crumble up method because it's quick, it's easy, and it gives me a little bit of frustration. Ooh, stress relief. Not repping the brand, I just grabbed a bag of chips. I believe these are from Aldi. You just want to choose something that's nice and thick. But these look pretty delicious. They're nice, big, thick, crunchy chip. Spread out, make sure nothing's too crazily overlapping so everybody gets a good amount of topping going on. Remember, you can always add chips later. If you add too many chips now, they might get all soggy, and then you can't add dry chips later to get that crunch. I'm gonna top this off with our beef. Hey man, what do you call a cow with no legs?
Ground beef.
Ground beef. Refried beans.
Yes.
Now, if you don't like refried beans, I like putting them in big sections on here so that way you can choose not to eat them if you don't like to. Some people like more than others and some people don't. But this is a party platter for me and my wife because we're having a party. We're gonna put this under the broiler for like 2-3 minutes just to give it some toast. If your broiler anxiety hadn't kicked in yet, just wait until I start chopping up some lettuce while I'm waiting on that. Got my sharpest Spyderco knife, pull mine up, and just give it some shred. Now, if you're one of those weird people that doesn't get your nachos Bel Grande without tomatoes on them, you can go ahead and use this time to cut those up or get them out of the can or whatever you do. A couple hot pats so you don't burn the wife's counter up with that hot tray. hot. That just heats up the bean dip and the chips and also gives a little bit of char to the ground beef. Just a little cheat code move, I found that out myself. And we're gonna come in here with all cheese. Being ultra careful to make sure every bite is selected for excellence. Some shredded lettuce right over the top of that right there. I'm gonna keep the salsa on the side so my wife can choose how much she likes on the nachos, as well as some pickled jalapenos. But on my side, which is probably gonna be this one over here, I'm just gonna come in with some freshly squeezed lime because I had one to use up that was in the fridge. Plus I like the flavor. She's big into salsa, I'm big into salsa verde, and I also like me some heat. So I married it right in the middle with this breakfast sauce from Baron Burton. This stuff right here, essentially is salsa verde. I just come over here with a good old dose of this breakfast 2 sauce, which adds just a little bit of heat, but a ton of flavor. They also make an everyday sauce that you can use. What do you understand? Both are good. I like one better than the other. As for me and my house, it's the best day ever. About to have some nachos. Oh man, you can't tell me that doesn't get you excited. That hit of lime just kind of freshens it up a little bit and you come in there and scoop up some of that bean dip. Now, if this was a party setting, I'd go ahead and load this bad boy up because I'd use a big sheet tray and then everybody had options. But since this is just me and her, she likes to kind of control her portions or whatever. So a lot of times you'll have that. So if you make food for just you and your significant other, maybe you should just leave things on the side as options and just do like your base layer, things that you know that you're gonna enjoy together. That way you can customize it how you like it. It makes cooking at home a little bit more interesting and a little bit more fun, especially when you have the ability to kind of make it your own, you know? I'll leave the recipe for the homemade queso down there so that way you can make this one yourself. This is just an easy dinner idea for you to throw it together without having to go out somewhere and get something else. Maybe it's a game day thing or a whole meal, whatever you want to swing it. There's a lot of different ways you can go about this. I'm just trying to make sure you have ideas so that way you can cook at home a little bit more this year like you've been planning on. Meet some of them goals that you gave up on back in January. And hey, if that resonated with you, why watch the whole video and not hit the follow button? You already started drooling anyway. Have a good night, or day, or whatever it is.